What a privilege it is to share Psalm 57 with all of you today. Have you ever felt hidden? And not in like a peaceful, quiet way, but hidden because life feels way too heavy. And you're waiting, and you're praying, and you're crying out, and wondering, when will God move? That's exactly the kind of moment Psalm 57 speaks into. David wrote it while he was hiding in a cave. He wasn't at the palace, he didn't just finish a great victory, but he was there in fear. He was running for his life from King Saul, feeling betrayed and misunderstood. From that dark place, he prays in verse 1, "Have mercy on me, O God, have mercy on me. For in you my soul takes refuge. I will take refuge in the shadow of your wings until the disaster has passed." Notice, David doesn't start with confidence or answers. He starts with mercy. Sometimes the most spiritual thing we can do as believers is say, "God, I need mercy. I don't need explanations or solutions. I don't need that instant breakthrough. Right now, I just need mercy from you." As David continues, he tells us where his hiding place is, and he paints this beautiful picture in the latter part of the verse. It says, "I will take refuge in the shadow of your wings." When we hide, it's usually because of one of three things: fear, bitterness, or anxiety. We pull back, we protect ourselves, we retreat to survive. But David shows us there's something better. He doesn't hide from his trouble, but he hides in God. And that's where he takes his refuge from. Under God's wing, he doesn't just find protection. He finds closeness, comfort, and a deep personal connection with the God who sees him in that cave. And even though that cave is really dark, David knows he's not alone in there. Because when you and me, when we choose to hide in God instead of hiding in our fear, we are never truly hidden. We are held so tenderly by the God that we serve. And maybe today you're in a cave. Maybe you're waiting for clarity, waiting for healing, waiting for breakthrough, waiting for God to move in the ways that only He can. Psalm 57 reminds you and me that the cave is not the end of our story. As David continues in verse 4, he openly acknowledges the dangers around him. He talks about people whose words are like spears and arrows. He doesn't minimize that threat, and he doesn't say it never happened, and he doesn't say that it didn't hurt. But right in the middle of that cave, David makes a pivot. He declares in verse 7, "My heart, O God, is steadfast. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and make music." Let's pause for a moment and think where David is. He's still in the cave. Nothing's changed. The problem has not disappeared. Saul is still out there, and the threat is so very real for him. But so is David's refuge. And that is why something inside David has changed. He says, "My heart is steadfast." What does steadfast mean? That word means anchored, fixed, unmoved. His heart is steadfast, not because life suddenly got easier, not because a cave just disappeared, but because David has chosen where his heart will rest. Worship in the cave is so powerful, not because it denies reality, but because it declares a greater reality. God is still God. Then, in verse 8, he goes on further and says, "Awake my soul." Sometimes we also need to preach to ourselves. We need to say to ourselves, "Wake up, heart, wake up, faith, remember who God is. Remember what He has already done." And then David lifts his eyes up beyond the walls of the cave and prays, "Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. let your glory be all over the earth. This is a turning point. He moves from have mercy on me to be exalted, O God. His situation hasn't changed, but his focus has. Psalm 57 teaches us 3 beautiful truths. First, you can cry out honestly. God isn't intimidated by your fear. He's not disappointed by your weakness. He's not upset at you for not being true to your faith. He welcomes real prayers. Second, you can take refuge before the storm passes. David says in verse 1, I will take refuge until the disaster passed. Not if, until. Storms have expiration dates, even when we cannot see it yet. Third, you can worship before the victory comes. Praise is not just a response to breakthrough. It's a declaration of confidence in who God is. We carry a lot quietly. We walk around with really heavy burdens on us. And Psalm 57 reminds us that caves can be sanctuaries when God is our refuge. The cave didn't destroy David. It deepened him. It deepened his faith. And what if this hidden season in your life is not a punishment, but a preparation? What if God is steadying your heart before he changes your circumstances? So today, if you find yourself in a cave, whether it's in fear, waiting, pain, remember this: you are not alone. God's wings are over you. His mercy is with you. Your heart can be steadfast even before the storm passes. So, what do? Cry out. Take refuge in him. Lift your eyes up and let your worship rise. Not because the cave is gone, but because God is with you right now. The cave is not the end of your story. It's a place where God is shaping your heart, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for a wide open space ahead. So step forward with hope, even in the hidden places. Let your soul echo David's words. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. Because the same God who meets you in the cave is the same God who will carry you into victory. I hope this encourages you as you go about your day. May God bless you.